the man when Third Eye Blind was like white hot. He's dating Charlize Theron, and
I like Third Eye Blind quite a bit.
he had his pick. Yeah, they're pretty. I mean,
Graduate's a great song.
He had a rep for kind of being a pain in the ass, but the couple times I met him, like if you were able to kind of get on his wavelength and play around with him a little bit, he was great. I'm a big fan of him. Graduate, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a bunch of hits. Third Semi-Charmed Life was the one that nobody could believe was on the radio because it was about like drugs and sex, and it was quite explicit without really being all that explicit. Did this song speak to you as a young man, as a kid whose mom was doing his...
I mean, that was much... Both. This came out way before I was even close to graduating.
Oh, yeah?
Trying to, but yeah. What year did this come up?
94, 95 maybe, yeah.
So I was 5 years away from having my mom do the proper paperwork for me to graduate.
Yeah, Semi-Charmed Life, but they had Jumper, they had How's It Gonna Be, they had Never Let You Go. Yeah, they had a lot of good songs. But Stephen Jenkins is going to be 60 in 2024. And that's pretty wild. Eddie Vedder is going to be 60. What's his name? Why can't I think of his name? Hootie. Darius Rucker, right? That's his name? He's not Hootie. Darius Rucker is going to be 60. Some of them look like they're going to be 60. Others don't. Jeff Hanneman of Slayer. Duff McKagan, who still looks good, boy. Duff McKagan is going to be 60 in a couple of weeks. You know, once he got off the junk and hit the gym, still looks good. That's the trick. Vinnie Paul would have turned 60. Of course, he died 5 or 6 years ago. So, you know, Tracy Chapman from Cleveland, Ohio. You've got a fast car. So, the guy from Soul Asylum, Maynard Keenan, is going to be 60 in April. And, yeah, Stephen Jenkins. So I'll have more tickets for that Third Eye Blind show tomorrow, about the same time. Lenny Kravitz will be 60. He's still in great shape. Tom Morello. Goddamn. Tom Morello, be 60 in May. 60. 6-0.
I used to think that was so old.
I mean...
I used to think it was so old, and now I'm like, no, it's not, doesn't seem that old anymore.
I guess. I mean, it's still... God willing, everybody's going, you know, you're going to hit it and then exceed it. Kerry King of Slayer, Doro Pesh. Jimmy Chamberlain, the drummer for the Smashing Pumpkins, is going to be 60. I mean, you know, these are all Gen X rock stars. Dickie Barrett, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. His birthday's one day before mine. He'll be 60. Courtney Love.
Will be 60.
60 years old on July 9th. Chris Cornell would have been 60 this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yup. So, anyway, there it is. I've got $1,000 for you, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. Listen closely. You get these once an hour, so there's plenty of money to be won, and I hope you do. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Green. That's green. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
You know why I'm excited is we're about an hour away from another Poundcake sports break.
Always a good time.
And, man, he has got a sports break for you.
Can't wait.
He is cocked and locked and ready to rock, Doc.
Indeed. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Very exciting. You can leave messages for us. You can leave voicemails on the After Hours line if you listen on iHeartRadio. There's the little talkback button there for you.
Hi, Erica from Gimpo here. I was listening to the...
Oh, right. Erica, who is one of our bureau chiefs in South Korea, left a message.
Hi, Erica from Gimpo here. I was listening to the replay of the show and y'all talking about the dogs. Yeah, it's true. It's not common, but my friend told me there's like a soup that they eat with dog meat. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm very glad it has become a law to stop eating dog. Hate the show. Bye.
How about that? As timely as today's headlines, we were talking about how South Korea has finally decided to outlaw dog meat as a culinary ingredient. Now, it's not going to kick in until 2027, but, they said that just, tastes have changed. And the global availability and the global economy changes, and people have access to things they didn't have access to before. But I Googled it. The Korean soup that uses dog is called bosuntang. They boil dog meat with vegetables and perilla seed powder. And then it's seasoned, and then you eat it. So it's like dog pho, kind of. Bosuntang, which translates to soup good for your body, unless your body is the dog. And then it's probably not that great for you. But there are still only 7 U.S. states that explicitly say that you cannot explicitly forbid eating dog. So just keep your eyes peeled. If you're that neighbor with a nosy dog or a loud dog, when I my dog has a great sense of kind of time and place. If she has to get up in the middle of the night to go out, which has been happening less frequently, thank God, but like I'm up around 5 or so, and so I'll let her out, and it's still dark. And so when she's done, she'll come to the patio door. And because it's dark, she doesn't bark because she knows people are still sleeping. She has a sense of that. So I'll just keep an eye out, and then I'll let her back in. The daytime, she'll bark her ass off. She'll bark to let you know she's done and she wants to come back in. But in the morning or when it's dark, she doesn't do that. She just sits there. So if you're one of those people that has a noisy dog, the dog that's always barking, or that's always trying to jump up and look over the fence, all I'm saying is it's not illegal in the state of Ohio. As I understand it, it's not explicitly outlawed that you can eat dog meat. You're not going to find it in a store, obviously. But there's always somebody who goes, you'll see signs in your neighborhood. Our dog's missing. And if it's one of those dogs that's a real pest, and then the next thing you know, a neighbor's bringing over bosuntang soup.
Enjoy.
I'm just trying to tell you.
I just want to sit and not have it. Oh no, I'm not hungry. But you have a bite though. Slurp it.
Well, that's what. Didn't
It's
your
probably
neighbor
good.
steal your dog?
It's probably delicious. Yeah, your neighbor stole your dog.
They sure did. Yeah, they sure did.
Did they ever bring over a casserole shortly thereafter?
No, they were about ready to jump my mom because she walked over there just to make sure it was her, and the dog ran up to my mom, and then my mom gonna give her the deed or the certificate or whatever it was.
The deed to the dog.
The deed to the dog.
The
The
dog
dog
deed.
deed.
But yeah,
I still don't understand that. I know we've talked about it ad nauseum. I still don't understand how the neighbor stole the dog and your mom.
the dog. Okay,
Because they got used to the new family.
pretty much.
You guys thought the dog ran away. You found out
the dog did run away.
But you found out years later that your neighbors took it in.
Yes,
And by the time you
they were
discovered
hiding
it, right? But I just don't know how you hide a dog.
They did. Okay,
They were just
They were secretive about it because they knew it wasn't their dog.
keep it in the backyard. You don't walk it on the street.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
we had a house, and in Oberlin, it's a very close quarters. It was just a street, and everyone, all the neighbors kind of knew each other. But there were a couple houses that you never really seen anybody go in or out of, just schedule or whatever. But we had a big backyard, and we would take our dogs out And usually it was the task of my brother or I, and I don't know which one it was, but we let her out. She got underneath the fence and got out. And we didn't know where we were looking for her for months, and we couldn't find her. So, I mean, yeah, we thought someone probably snatched her, but we never knew what happened to her. And then I'm telling you, it had to be a couple years later. It wasn't like a year. It was like a couple years later. My brother was outside, and the dog ran up to him. Like, it was outside, and my brother she ran up to him, and she was like, "That's BB." And we were like, "What?" And so I go inside and tell my mom, and they were like, "The neighbor across the street, she has BB." And so we run across the street, and my mom comes out, and she's like, "Yeah, that's her." And then she goes back in and gets like whatever little certificate. And the lady was like, "Oh, we thought you were gonna take her." Like, we should. Like, we was mad because we were like,
why wouldn't? Yeah, it's so strange to me. They steal the dog rather than saying, "Hey, somebody lost their dog." I mean, that's a wild move.
yeah, we didn't see her. So they were strategically, the way their house was placed, if they took her out the back door, we would not have seen her.
Yeah.
And the one day,
Were they known to be like shady in other ways?
I didn't know anything about these people.
Okay.
Never seen them before.
The family, guy, woman, kids.
It was a woman with kids, and the kids never came out to play. I don't know who those kids were. But they were out there, and
Why didn't your mom take the dog back?
my mom is non-confrontational. I don't think she.
Yeah,
wanted
there's
any
no
issue.
confrontation. They thought she was going to take the dog.
She was broken by her children, so she's like, I guess I'll just let the dog live there now.
All it's going to do is get away from them again, and another family's
and
going to
then
take
they're
it.
gonna blow up my Sim's house again.
Every 5 years, they're reclaiming their dog from another family in the neighborhood. It just seems like she would take the dog back. It's not a confrontation. You stole my dog.
Stole it, got away, and then they took it.
Oh man!
Is there a chance that your mom actually gave them the dog?
No.
Oh,
No.
that she lied to you. the
No, my
whole
mom is a dog
time.
lover. She would never do that. I think, and I don't know this for sure. I guess I never really asked her about it because that day we just kind of like let it be. That's what it was. But I think she saw that she was in a good home, and she was being taken care of, and they loved her. So I figured she was like, okay, they already were accustomed to enjoying the dog's company.
Yeah,
and
but
they were part
dogs
of
get
the family.
accustomed to. I mean, you have these dogs that find their owners across the country after 5 years. They don't forget you.
They
That's
did.
why
they
they
remembered-
They ran to your brother.
They remembered Poundcake, and they're like,
Yeah, she
Going
didn't
back
run up.
home.
They
she didn't
ran
run
to your
up me.
brother and
Yeah.
growled at you. Oh God, little Poundcake, like, come over here. What was the dog, BB? He's
Yeah.
like, come over here, BB. And the dog's like, ah.
I'll
Wants
put.
nothing to do with him. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. They took care of her. I mean, she was a purebred Pomeranian, so she was like an expensive dog. So
and easy to hide. That's a tiny dog.
tiny dog, and they
Yeah.
could have sold her or whatever, but they literally just found her, and I guess they got attached to her, and my mom just.
Well, yeah, they
let-
got
let
attached
her
to
have her.
little kids with a tiny dog.
They weren't little. They were like my brother's age. I think they were like older than me. They were like teenagers, and they got this dog.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah, and they stole her for years. Held her captive
Man.
in the house. Never saw her. It was. I'm not even gonna make that comparison, but
She didn't
just-
bark or anything.
She wasn't a barker.
Yeah.
She was the best little small quiet dog you could imagine. She was cute too.
You were going to say it's like when they find a girl in a container in a barn.
Yeah, let's go with
Send
that.
her over.
Yeah, well, is BB still alive?
I don't know. That was the last day we saw her.
But what I'm saying is after
I
like
doubt
the
it.
jig.
This was when I was like 11 or 12, so I doubt it.
Oh yeah, okay, that dog's long gone.
Long gone.
I see. So after the jig is up, did they then stop hiding the dog?
Never saw them again after that.
Really? They move out. They pack their crap in the
No,
middle of the
like,
night. They're like, we got to get out of here.
Like our house,
ASPCA is coming.
our neighborhood was a great area to like raise kids. Like all the kids pretty much knew each other, but for whatever reason, this particular house, I didn't even know kids lived there. No one ever went in, no one ever went out. And this particular day, this woman was out with a dog that looked just like our dog that ran away. And then the dogs ran up to my brother. And then he was like, oh, "That's BB. The spots are the same." Like blah blah blah. And then
Were they calling after the dog? What did they name it?
I don't remember what it was.
They're like, come back here, Ferdinand?
Dee Dee.
I forget.
Baby. No, Dee Dee now.
No, I forget what they called her. They did name her a different name, but I don't.
He had her marinating in Italian dressing in the fridge.
In Italian dressing.
Italian dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's stupid.
That's how they make the bosun sing.
dog thieves.
I've got to take a break here. You want to get a text? 35